What's your favorite, besides just closing your eyes and talking to spirits? You are a divination tool, but
I am.
Here I am.
Divination tool is
Divination tool is Juliet. Welcome to another week of Goddess Hangs.
Episode number 21.
Woo! 21.
21st birthday.
21. Forever 21.
Crazy today. It's our 21st.
How was your 21st birthday? What did you do for your 21st birthday?
Oh, I didn't drink when I was 21. So I went to a trampoline indoor thing. We all just jumped.
I love it.
And then went to dinner. And then I also think I had a concert, like a house show in somebody's yard, I think. Or that might have been my 20th. I don't know. But I didn't do anything crazy. But did you do something crazy?
Not really. I was drinking when I was 21. I'm from Wisconsin, so I started drinking way before I was 21. But it was exciting and I also was going to the bars. I never had a fake ID. There was just, you knew the right bars to go to. But I was just talking to my friend, and it was so funny because my 21st birthday, you hype things up kind of like every New Year's or every Halloween or something. Like you hype up like it's going to be the best ever, and then it's always a disappointment. So, I'm like, my 21st, I'm going to, do this, go to these places, da-da-da-da. And like my ex-boyfriend followed our group of friends around the whole night because his I've been best friends with like his brothers who's in my grade like forever, and then like so he was a part of the friend group, but I was like, no, like get out of here. And he was grumpy and like not like mean at me, but just like his presence energetically was just like freaking rude to be there. And okay, so this is when I was 21. I'm 29 now. And this last year, he sent me these really long text messages about, I'm so sorry I ruined your 21st birthday.
Oh, honey.
I was like, I didn't remember that anymore, but I'm sorry that you've been brooding on this for 8 years.
Oh, no.
So, all good. Shout out for the apology. Thank you.
I did have a sassy waiter that I would love an apology from on my 21st birthday, because somebody mentioned like, oh, it's her 21st birthday. And they're like, oh, what can we get you? And I was like, oh, I just want a Shirley Temple, because I just wasn't drinking yet at that age. And he gave me like such a hard time, and he left, and I was like, well, he just cut his tip in half, because I was like, you don't know my choices or my health conditions or whatever. But I was a late bloomer in a lot of ways. But yeah, if you're a server and people don't want to drink, just
let it be.
Let it be.
I feel like nowadays, like people would never do that.
Yeah, it was weird.
Because we all know, like, to be sensitive to others, like, things you might not know about. Like, we all know that now. But back in the day, it was just, like, you gave everyone a hard time about everything. Me and my friends are still like that.
Back in the 8 years ago day.
Yeah. I just feel like we weren't as a sensitive population. Some things are oversensitive, but things like that, like you don't know if someone's sober because they had an issue, or even if it's just a choice, like you just can't do that.
If you could go back and like have a dream 21st birthday, like with who you are now, what would you want? Like a redo? Okay,
so I would have giant golden balloons that say 21.
Yes.
And like a lot of other balloons. I think I would basically, so my best friend Julie had a quinceanera because she's from Colombia. I would kind of have like a quinceanera. There was a dance floor. There was lots of balloons. There was like a chocolate fountain. Like I like the components of it. Not
like a bat mitzvah.
Yeah. Or a bat mitzvah. I want like a professional. I want a dance floor. I want a DJ.
Give me a dance floor. Give me a DJ. Play me a record. Forget what they said. It's a Hillary Duff
Give
song.
me some balloons. Even more balloons than that. And lots of balloons. I would have like an outrageous maybe like hot pink sequiny dress. Something like really just out there and cool. I'd have a gigantic crown, obviously.
So maybe we do that for the 30th birthday.
Yeah, duh, we have a milestone birthday coming up. I was like, oh yeah, we should throw a combined birthday because we're only a month apart.
I would love that.
Even though none of our friends know each other.
It doesn't matter.
I don't even have that many friends in LA.
My friends don't even know each other. No, I'm kidding. They do, but we don't like all hang out in a circle. Yeah.
And we could use the backyard here.
Giant balloons. I love the golden 3-0 balloons. I want to wear a stunning dress. I want to be the most me I've ever been in my whole life.
For a
100%.
barbecue. Yeah. Everyone else, feel free to come in jeans and t-shirts.
Yeah, wear pajamas.
I'm wearing a prom
never cared.
dress. I'm wearing a gala dress.
A gala. So yeah, I think mine would be similar. Just like so fun and extravagant and like get in the party bus. We're going to this club. Ah! I didn't go to clubs at 21, but now then the world shuts down and you're like, I had the opportunity at 21 to go to clubs and I didn't go
to a club. Dang. Once we're allowed, I'll go once and I'll be like, I'm good.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to have the Goddess Hangs live birthday event.
We'll live stream it.
Ooh, get excited. You're invited to our birthday party. Gold balloons.
Even more balloons.
Coming up we'll find the exact mid date. It'll be like the probably sometime early August.
Yeah.
Right?
Also, you're going to come to Vegas for a week in August.
Oh my God, let's do it there. Because
Craig's
30th
headlining
birthday
there.
in Vegas. We need to go shopping. Goddess shopping.
We'll just carry 3-0 balloons with us everywhere.
I will say, I did go to Vegas at the best time of my life. I think at the end of 2017, and it was December. My birthday's in July, but I went down to the drugstore and I bought all the like birthday crowns, birthday sash, and I walked around and it was the best birthday of my life. And it was indeed, it was 6 months from my birthday. Like everybody was like, oh, happy birthday, woo! He's here for the birthday girl.
I don't get why people don't want to wear the sash and stuff. I love that. Me and my friends would always do that. Whoever's birthday would be like,
oh, we're wearing the sash.
The sash, the crown, the little button that flashes.
Yes.
I love it all.
My crown lit up.
Give me all the attention.
I filled the bathtub at the hotel with balloons. It was a vibe. Okay. We have some fun things to look forward to.
Yes.
All of us collectively.
If you're 21, what did you do for your 21st birthday?
Or if you're younger, what do you want to do?
For your
or if this
milestone
was
birthday.
20 years ago, what did you do?
Yeah. Tell us about your most recent milestone birthday, whatever it is.
And let us know if you want us to do a Vegas vlog. Goddess Hangs hits Vegas.
That'd be a fun episode. It's just a vlog.
DVD.
We're really aging ourselves there. If you want the DVD or VHS cassette tape, hit us
order
up.
it on Blu-ray. Oh my gosh, which we never got that. Like, I think they were like, get a Blu-ray player. We're like,
yeah,
why?
that kind of fizzled out, didn't it?
I don't know.
Then I don't know. I had like a PS3, so it played both anyways.
Oh, that's nice. We didn't have that.
Yeah.
You had brothers.
Yeah.
Anyways, woo! So much to look forward to. Is anything new and exciting with you?
Let's see. What did I do all week? I've still been feeling pretty anxious. I think we talked about that.
I felt it in you a couple days ago.
Yeah, so I've been having a hard time lately of saying that with a laugh. I'm totally fine. Leading up to my period, I get anxiety as like a PMS symptom, and I'm just having it worse. And I don't know, like, because I've been anxious this month, and then my PMS is like making it worse, basically.
Okay.
But I did have something that kind of came to me that I thought would be helpful for anyone that struggles with like coming in and out of grief, because like grief is a cycle and you feel it really strongly and then you're okay for a while. But I find that I do this, and it's not like wrong or something, but we tend to like attach other things that might be like bringing us down or causing us stress. We attach it to our grief. Oh. So our grief is something that, you know, like a loss. I lost my mom. Okay, that's the example. That's completely out of my control. I can't do anything about that. Then something else unrelated that is current day is making me feel out of control or something. But in reality, like, I'm totally fine. I do have control. But I'll attach the feeling and I'll start blurring the lines between what is making me feel bad, and then I get stuck in this little like storm of like this thing that is like totally gonna be fine but is causing me anxiety, and then I'm attaching it to something that is indeed completely out of my control, so it makes me feel like I'm spinning out and I have no control.
Okay.
So I was meditating the other day, and that came to me where it was like, hey, you have to cut that out. You are attaching unrelated feelings. You're letting yourself spin out of control. Everything's fine. Everything's great. And I still am feeling like not 100%, but it's kind of just something that's been very grounding for me. And I think it would be helpful to any of you who might struggle with that as well. Like, don't lump stuff together that is unrelated, because we like to say I don't have any control over any part of my life, because we start like lumping them to things,
right?
So I just found out that I was doing that. I realized I was doing that a little bit, so it's been a little better since then. But I also have just been like taking sort of a break from posting on Instagram, because I just wanted, since I have not been feeling very good, I just wanted to focus on my course that is starting on Monday. Like, I want to be 100% for those girls. Super excited. And I've just been trying to like, it's hard when you're like going through an anxious state to like be like, okay, I gotta wake up and be inspiring today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you do it too. You post like that too. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna, this week, I'll go on my story or whatever, but I am not posting this week. I refuse to post this week. I'm taking a week off. I'm not forcing myself to be inspiring this week. I feel shitty, and that's fine, you know?
Yes.
So instead, I started posting on my like strange book club, my horror book club page that I haven't posted in a while.
I saw that.
Because I was like, Sadie, just do something for the fun of it. Like, you've been reading your book, you love posting about that. Do that instead. Come back next week, whatever. So that's been helping a little bit, but we're getting through it. Once my period starts, I'll feel better. It's always like the day it starts, you just feel it all like release. So I'm like, please just start.
Yeah, and it's very very normal and very annoying. Like the first, you know, your period starts, you have the 2 weeks before you ovulate. You feel on top of the world. Like, I'm in that moment right now, like, well, I could do anything.
Yep.
And then you ovulate, and then your hormones do a flip-flop.
Yep.
And then those 2 weeks are just a lot lower and slower, and so we can use that to our benefit to try to plan busier, bigger projects on the first half of the cycle, and like more reflection and other stuff. Not that we can't do everything all the time, of course we can, but
there is something to planning around your cycle, though. It definitely helps. Yeah, if you're a woman with a cycle, it does help a lot.
Yeah. So that has been, I feel you. But I think for me it's been good, because I will feel that angsty feeling creeping in, and I'm like, why am I mad? Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, it's my hormones. Oh, okay. And I'm able to let it go because I know it's just a chemical thing happening, and it's not because anything's really actually wrong. Like, so I
mean, I have never, like, I'm just, it's actually funny how much I've been crying.
Oh, Sadie.
No, like, it'll be something like, I was watching The Good Place last night, and it's a funny show, and it wasn't something like that, like, emotional. Like, there was something kind of sweet happening. I just like, oh my God, that's beautiful. I posted that snake thing on my Instagram story.
Is that they don't make that noise, do they?
They're making that noise.
That's their real noise?
Yeah. I was bawling. I was like, this message is for me. Just being totally insane. But it's okay. It's just sometimes Luckily, my PMS used to be a lot worse. And sometimes just some cycles hit harder than others.
You know why too? Because every month you drop an egg from the opposing side, typically. Obviously there's exceptions, but I tend to have 1 month that is like a way worse period, and then the next month is a little bit easier, and it alternates.
I never
Can you
thought
feel
of that
yourself drop an
before.
egg?
I know when I do, because I get a tiny bit of cramping and spotting.
It's called middle schmerz.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Sometimes I'll be with Victor and I'm like, I'm laying an egg right now. Like I can feel it. Then I tell some people, they're like, I don't know what I can't feel it.
Oh yeah, I know when I do. I don't know for sure when
Focus
it's
on
coming,
the tubes.
but I have a tiny bit of, it's like a little bit of a cramp when it happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes a little spotting. I'm like, oh, I ovulated, better be careful. But yeah, I'm okay though. It's all good. We're going through a thing. It's fine.
Yes.
What's new with you?
Well, I came into Sadie's house today and I was like, I have the antibodies. I'm so excited. I'm like on a high. I got my second and final vaccine on Tuesday. And it made me feel kind of weird for 2 days. Nothing crazy happened.
Yeah.
And I woke up today and I was like, I'm going to take on the world. Nothing's going to hurt me now. I just had so much energy. I felt like I was reborn.
I love it.
So that's been exciting. What else is new? I'm going to reopen. If anybody listening is a singer-songwriter or wants to be a singer-songwriter or like has felt the call for that for a long time, I have a singer-songwriter masterclass I'm going to reopen in the next couple of weeks, so keep an eye out for that. It's going to be great.
It's an amazing masterclass. She shows you how to make a career.
I kind of do, yeah. It's like, here's how to write better songs.
Yeah.
Here's how you build your community. Here are all the logistics. Here's how you get your songs on iTunes and Spotify. Here's how it's basically everything that took me 14 years to learn. I slapped it into a 1 hour video, and I include a lot of fun bonuses, and you'll just be able to take it, and it's going to cost less than a singing lesson. So it's going to be great, and I'm going to save you guys a lot of like running into brick walls. You'll just get like the roadmap and off you go. So I'm excited about that. That was one of the things I did in my vaccine haze. I was in the living room and I was like, I must complete the course. Victor's like, can you just take a nap? I'm like, I am not able to until
I'm
this
impressed,
is
and
done.
I don't feel good. I'm just like...
I was walking around. He was cracking up last night. I was walking around the house because I was just like so bored from like doing nothing all day.
Yeah.
And coming up with, I did everything I could have done for being home all day. And he just kept hearing my little footsteps walking back and forth in the hall, just like trying to find stuff to do. And every time I walk by, I sing a different song and I don't realize it. So he would hear like, oh, the yellow rose of Texas. And he's like, can you just situate yourself?
It's like, Juliet, you're driving me crazy.
I'm like, am I bugging you? So that was that. Oh, and I'm going to meet a horse on Friday.
Meet a horse.
Thank you for the enthusiasm. I feel the same way.
Where are you meeting a horse?
Well, I've wanted to lease, you know how you can lease a car?
Yeah.
You can lease a horse. And I can't have a pet right now. And all I want is a pet. So I'm going to meet a horse to potentially lease. And I can become its friend and we can go on rides once a week.
Oh.
Isn't that nice?
That's really nice.
And her name is Willow.
Willow.
And she's black like Boo.
Oh, Willow and Boo. We'll have to bring Boo to meet her. She'll be scared.
She'll be like, why am I here? But
Why am I here?
yeah, tomorrow I get to meet a horse.
Wow.
I'm excited.
I remember, like, when we still worked together at the shop, you did a horseback riding
Oh, yeah.
experience thing. Was that like a Groupon or something?
For sure.
Yeah. It was like, I was like, how did you even think of looking for that? That's amazing.
But I want to be alone. Like, I don't want to be with a family visiting from Arkansas. Like, I want to be by myself in nature with a horse having an experience. And I love horses. I'm not afraid of them. I I like need to connect with an animal so bad it hurts.
Yeah.
And I can't get a pet right now. So I was
Were you a horse girl when you were younger?
never. My
I was.
mom always has been, though. She's always been obsessed. And I was always like, Mom, you're crazy. And now as I've gotten older, I'm like, I need to be around a horse.
I was a horse girl.
Aw.
My grandparents had a farm, but they never had horses. It was a little dairy farm with like sheep and goats and chickens and cows, of course. But my cats are meowing. But I speak of the devil, my little cats. But I had this book when I was a little girl that was like beautiful, stunning pictures, and it had the different breeds of horses and like all of the details about them, and I like memorized them all, and I'd be like, Mom, quiz me on any of these horses, and she'd be like, okay. You know, she's like, we did this yesterday. But I loved that book. And my dad, like for a while, our family thought, mostly my dad wanted to like move on to like a hobby farm. So not a working farm, but we could get a horse. And so I was just like, please, we have to get a horse. And one year for my birthday, I got like 5 lessons as a birthday present. So I went for like 5 weeks in a row and got to learn how to ride a horse. It was awesome. It's the time of my life.
That's one of my long-term dreams, is to have a horse, like my very own horsey. But for now, I'm gonna see about leasing one.
Yeah, that's cool.
Isn't that cool?
When you own a horse, you can lease it.
You can make money off the horse.
It's brilliant.
So
And the horse has fun. It gets to go for walks.
yeah, the horse is like, hello.
Make sure you like the person that's leasing it, and
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's lots of horses up there.
Yeah, I want to have my home with the beach view.
Yep,
And
that's what the people.
I can show you my vision board today.
Ooh, yeah.
I made a new vision board, and there are horses on it.
Love it.
So that's really all that's new with me. I'm vaccinated and energized and reopening a course and going to meet a horse tomorrow.
And I'm very sad.
And Sadie and I are going to have a long talk after we film this episode.
No, I'm excited. Craig's gone for 2 days this weekend, so I'm just going to get lots of work done because I'm kind of coming out of my funk. So I'm going to be like alone and can just
Go for it.
do it. Although my neighbor peeked in and was like, hey guys, just so you know, my buddies are staying here this weekend. Let us know if we're too loud. I'm like, oh, crap.
You're like, great. I love when your buddies stay.
I need to
right
record
above me.
videos because I'm re-recording for the course. I'm like, great, I'm going to be able to not record at all. That's wonderful. Nah, it'll be fine. But and I have my first seance coven meeting this weekend. I'm very excited.
Oh my gosh, my dad, the producer of this podcast, Greg Piper, his band, The Tuners, has a song called Seance. Seance! Google it.
Oh my gosh, I want to listen
We'll put
to
a
it
link in the
after
description.
Yes. Yes.
We're going to link Greg Piper's song,
Yes.
Seance.
Seance. I love it. Sadie at the seance.
Sadie at the Seance. Oh, he'll be so excited for that shout out. He'll be like, wait, did you send me the right link? And I'll be like, yeah, we're shouting you out. Seance!
Seance. I'm going to play it at the seance and be like, hey guys, I know I'm
Check
not
out
the
this
leader here,
song.
but check this out.
Do you guys need a theme song? I have a theme
I
song.
have one for you. Yeah. Well, today we wanted to do sort of a you guys loved the How to Be Psychic episode. It's our most listened to / watched episode. And so we thought we'd do sort of a part 2 talking about tools that can help you be psychic, to help you tap into your subconscious, your higher self, and even spirit. So we're going to talk about divination tools today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your favorite besides just closing your eyes and talking to spirits? You are a divination tool, but
I am.
here I am. But what's
Divination
your
tool is
divination
me.
tool is Juliet.
And Sadie. Lady. My favorite.
What's your fave?
I like oracle cards. I have had. So if you ever go to a woo-woo store or even a Barnes and Noble, they sell oracle cards. You don't need to be gifted them. There's not a It doesn't have to be on a Wednesday. Just go and see what you're drawn to visually, and get that deck. That's a fun way to trust your instinct. Just walk in. Ooh, that one. So this one I got when I was like 17 years old. It's completely faded. I don't know if you can see the colors like based on the inside versus the outside. Probably not. But this is an angel deck. If you've ever joined us for our lives,
yes.
And you ever pick an angel deck, this is the magical deck. But they have all different themes. This one is all beautiful angels. I have a deck that's all fairies. I have a deck that's goddesses. I think I have another one too. And then Sadie has a lot of her decks. She has cosmic.
So I have a cosmic guidance oracle. I have lots of oracles. I have cosmic guidance, tarot chi goddess oracle. I have super attractor by Gabby, which is kind of an oracle deck. I have a Kuan Yin oracle, an Isis oracle, what's the other one? I think I have one other one.
You have Lumeria.
Oh yeah, I have Lumeria now.
Did you say Isis?
Isis, yep. So basically, the difference between like a tarot deck and an oracle deck is that tarot decks are kind of like a deck of cards. Like there's a consistency between different tarot decks. So I have one of the like classic tarot decks, the Smith Waite, but you'll find themed ones. Like I know there's a cool one that I've seen floating around that's like a tarot tattoo. There's like a witch's tarot, and that's just kind of theming the artwork. But as you flip through any given tarot deck, there's going to be like a Queen of Swords, a King of Swords, an Ace of Pentacles. Like it's almost like a literal deck of playing cards. There's suits. There's a major arcana, a minor arcana. In the meaning between those different cards in all the different suits are going to be more or less consistent, depending on like the artist and the symbolism, but it's basically a consistent deck. Oracle, there's like no rules.
Correct.
It's up to the artist. It's up to the, whatever they want to make the theme and what the messages that are. So Oracle is a little bit easier to just like grab and go, whereas tarot, there's a little more learning involved because you're starting. I don't believe you have. I don't have every single card memorized. You start to like learn the symbolism and kind of like what numbers mean and stuff like that. But to me, oracle decks are much easier to just kind of like.
Yeah.
It takes a minute to like learn the cards and sort of like connect with your energy and like really easily like, oh, I know what this means. But oracle, I feel like, is the place to start if you're like, I'm intimidated by cards, but it seems fun. Tarot seems like too much. Go grab an oracle deck.
Yes. So what Sadie was saying, so in the same way that a deck of normal cards has hearts, diamonds, clubs, and spades, the tarot is going to have wands, cups, swords, and pentacles. And then, like she said, there's like the king of this, the queen of that. It sort of mirrors and then there's numbers and stuff like 2 of swords, a 5 of whatever.
It's almost a playing deck of cards for the minor arcana.
And my grandma and great grandma, I realized this recently after I discovered my own like stuff. They used to do fortune telling, but they would use a regular deck of cards.
Yeah.
So that was like a popular way to do it because they would assign meaning to all of those cards too. So it is a lot to memorize, but all the decks come with a little booklet, and there's so many free resources online and videos and whatever. So don't be intimidated. Yeah,
if you're looking for a tarot resource, I have one book that I don't, of course, remember the name of, but I can put it in the description. Okay. But I really like biddytarot.com, which I'll also put in the description. Her description of them, like, I don't like going to a reference and it's like very doomsday-y and stuff. Hers are very like helpful, supportive, makes you think. Not all like sunshines and daisies. It'll point out like, something you need, like a shadow aspect or something, but not in a like, death is coming to you and your family or something. Like some tarot resources are a little like much for me.
Yes. And I think that's another main difference between, I would say, most oracle cards and tarot is that like I could pull any 3 cards from this deck, and like for instance this one says celebration, support, and listening. They're all sort of like positive messages. It's not really going to bring up anything that needs to, I don't know, tarot's a little more real.
Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say, if you want to like do shadow work, you're gonna want to use a tarot deck to support you in that. And yeah, I think like tarot can actually call you out on your bullshit, but
yeah,
oracle's a little more like sunshiny for the most part. It can still support you. That's actually why I really like this cosmic guidance one. Oh gosh, sorry. Usually don't have that noise on. That's why I like this cosmic guidance one, because I feel like there are some that kind of make you think a little bit more, but yeah, that's a good point. Oracle tends to be a little more all like love and light, which is not bad.
Or if you live maybe in a home with family members who are like, tarot, if you have this oracle deck, you're like, no, it's not, it just says nice words.
It's just like angels.
Oh, okay. So that's an option for you if you're in a situation where you can't like bring home a big tarot deck. But they're both positive, and I loved Sadie's recommendation of going to the Biddy tarot.
Biddy, yeah, Biddy tarot.
That's a cute little name.
Yeah,
Biddy,
she's got a good
Biddy. It's a Jewish song.
She's got good. You can just type in any card. That's kind of where I started out, and then I read books that kind of teach you more, because you don't want to like look stuff up too much, because you want your cards, your tarot interpretations to like be yours. Like every tarot reader is going to read a little bit differently, and like that's kind of the fun of it. And that's why like I like reading for other people, but reading for me is kind of like whatever. Like I like someone else to read for me, because the way they see it is going to be different than like how I see it.
Yes.
But yeah, it's more about like learn about the symbolism and learn about like what the suits can point to. There's like elements and zodiacs and planets and stuff that all have attached meaning that I'm still playing footsie down here. I'm still like learning some of that, but it's really cool. It's just like there's so much, and I feel like forever you can just learn more and more about your tarot deck, and it becomes more a part of you. And tarot, I feel like you get a little more intimate with.
Yeah,
for sure.
So I think a good idea would be, I'm going to do a quick 3-card reading on Sadie, and you can see sort of like how I do it. So I take the cards out of the deck, and I either like hold it to my heart, or I just make sure that in my hands I'm placing just good energy. I'm just sort of mentally like cleansing it in my mind. You could use sage or Palo Santo.
Sometimes I knock on it.
Oh, I love that. Who's there?
Knock the energy.
Spirit.
Wake it up. Hello, are you home?
Sometimes I applause. Good job. No. Give it a little kiss. And there's a few
kiss
ways.
Is important.
Snuggle it at night. There's a few ways you can do it. Some people let the other person pick. Some people pick for you. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's however you want to do it. You could shuffle it a little bit and just pull 1, 2, 3. You could just cut the deck where it feels right and then turn over the first card. What I like to do is I like to make them jump. So we'll do a quick reading for Sadie. And I just, if you can see, if you can't see, maybe you can hear. I'm just sort of like moving them around.
Card ASMR.
Yeah, listen to the sound of the cards. Okay, so that was one jumper. And then there's another one.
Another one.
And I'm going to give you a bonus one. 4. So even 3, you could do 4. You could do 12. It's however you want to do it. I like to do 1, 2, 3. And you can either do it as past, present, future. What I like to do, I just sort of made this up, is I almost make it feel like it's like the foundation of a house, the walls and the roof. Like you almost got to get this one thing down, and then the next one is going to build you up even more, and then the next one's going to build you up even more, and then this is your bonus card to keep in mind throughout the process. So, amazing. So for Sadie, her first card is support. The message for Sadie right now is that she is being supported. You are not alone. When you feel you are alone, or you feel you are stressed out, or you feel you're crying all the time, you're not alone. You have support.
Others are also crying all the time. No, that is good. I have a hard time asking for help. So
you have support in your business. You have support in your dreams. You have support in your finances. You have support in your life. You have forces that you cannot see that are supporting you. Put your faith and trust in that. Okay. I'm doing a speed read. It just, I don't normally like.
Okay, you got it. Let's move on.
Okay. Clear. All right. The next one is focus. The focus card tells you that once you call in the support and believe in the support, it's time to start focusing on everything you want and stop focusing even for a second on what you don't want. Well, what if this and what if that? We're done. We're done doing that.
Yep.
So that's the focus. And then the third one is truth and integrity. And I actually am going to read what that one is. So if you don't have it memorized, it comes with a little book. I hope I'm not raising your guys' blood pressure by doing this reading so fast.
Everyone's sweating.
Everyone's like, can you slow the frick down? Okay. You are guided to be very honest with yourself and to be true to yourself in all of your activities and actions. Let go of anything inauthentic and any activities that do not mirror your highest intentions for yourself. If something in your life isn't working, be willing to release it. So it's about, expect a miracle when you decide to be true to you. That's like Sadie's saying, I am free to be me.
I am free to be me.
And then throughout this process, the card is signs. So you look for signs.
I'm seeing my butterflies and hummingbirds in my front yard.
This was a perfect reading for you.
It was very accurate. Exactly what I needed to hear.
I'm sorry I rushed through it.
No. Thank you.
I just didn't want to take 20 minutes to do a reading. But that's...
Yeah, so as you can see, it's just like Juliet knows a little bit about me and what I'm going through, but she was able to say that pretty general, and like she looked up one card, but there are like oracle decks and tarot, you can like look up the meaning, but also like she just saw things and was like boom boom boom, this is what it means. And that's what's fun about getting to know your deck and all of that. So yeah, that is tarot and oracle cards. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
What spread do you like using in tarot? Like the traditional?
Right. Okay. So I just started playing around with more. Typically I do like a lot of days I'll just do a sort of like, what do I need to know today, and pull one card, because that's very helpful in just like learning more cards too. And then when I first got my deck, I would do that, and then I would like journal on what I thought it meant, but like I had just gotten my deck, so I didn't really know. And then I would look it up and be like, oh, okay, so like got it a little bit, or like, no, I just made that up and not quite. So that was a good way to learn. Most often I just do 3 cards, and I either do like situation, obstacle, advice, or past, present, future. Those are kind of like the 2 I do, but it'll be like, what's the energy around the situation, what's the obstacle I'm facing, what's the advice to like move forward. That's my favorite, probably.
There's something about tarot that I did it when I was a teenager, and then I think I was a little like addicted to it. So I don't think I gave the deck away. I think I hid it somewhere. It was a beautiful beautiful deck. It was like this one, but like yellow, I think. But there's something like a little extra magical about tarot, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I actually, okay, this is kind of a fun story. So before I owned any decks, I went from 0 to 100 real quick with my deck collection. I'll tell you what, you buy one and then it's like tattoos. You get one tattoo, all of a sudden you have a bunch. The same thing with decks of cards. But so I was like, I had never gotten a tarot reading. I had never gotten an oracle reading. Didn't have either of them. Didn't have friends that had them. But, you know, I'm like coming into the spiritual world, and I'm like, that seems cool. Maybe I don't know. Should I get that? I don't know. No, why would I get that? I don't know anything about it. And then one night I was meditating, and I was thinking about how the next day I was planning on going to House of Intuition, and which is a really fun shop in LA that has like crystals and decks and books and all sorts of woo-woo stuff.
Our kind of store.
Yes. I got mad at them because they wouldn't let me exchange something once.
Very rude.
I was like, it was a sealed deck that I tried to gift someone that already had it and they wouldn't exchange it. I was like, I'm not trying to return it. It's sealed. You can like wipe it off if you're worried about COVID or something. Anyways, made me mad, but anyways.
House of no exchanges.
Anyways, this was before I was before I was being petty. I was meditating and then like this thought snuck in of like, oh, I'm excited to go to House of Intuition tomorrow. And I was going just for the fun of it. I hadn't been to a crystal store in a while. This was when we had like a little bit of a comeback after we were, I don't know, whatever. After we were like locked down for a while and then stores opened up and I was like, yes, I'm going to go to a store. Like I was really excited. Okay. So I had been there before and I knew they had this whole wall of the decks are like sitting face up in the wall like this, right? So there's just tons and tons of different decks. And that like came, and this was before I was like getting visions and I was clairvoyant and stuff. Okay. But I'm just going with this. I'm like, okay, I'm meditating and all right, I see the wall at House of Intuition. And then I saw these like orbs of light go. I couldn't see the different decks of cards because I didn't know what was where, but I could see these two spots that like light like moved and then went in my like mind's eye and just like stayed there. And I was like, okay, I'm going to see which decks are there. Ooh. When I go to the store tomorrow. That's cool. I was like, I've never had like a vision like that before. It was very exciting. And then I went and one of them was a tarot deck and then the other one was a Kuan Yin oracle deck. So that was my very first oracle deck. And the crystal store that we used to work at, we sold little statues of Kuan Yin and like I felt a connection to her because she's kind of like one of the first goddesses I had like learned more about. So it was just cool because it was like a tarot deck and the one goddess that I had known about at that point in my journey was the oracle deck that I had like in those spots. So I bought them. I was like, all right, we're doing this.
But no exchanges.
No, it's okay. I have 2 tarot decks now. I would say just take your time learning if you're new to it. If you are a tarot reader, we would love for you to comment any resources that you love or books that you love that helped you learn. But yeah, cards are super fun, super magical, and I personally like love using them just as like almost like journaling prompts. Like, okay, what does this mean to me today?
Ooh.
So it's a fun way to sort of do your like personal development work too.
Yeah, and use it as personal development. Don't use it as like, tell me the future, or like in an anxious kind of way. And also, don't be afraid. It's a piece of paper.
It's a tool.
It's a tool.
It's silly to think that. Yeah.
Anyways, so okay, we've covered oracle cards and tarot cards. Should we talk about?
We have pendulums. So with any, here's one for you.
Thank you. What happened? Did they go?
I know. I always break the tips off. Both of them have broken tips. That one's lepidolite with a little bit of pink tourmaline, and this one's pink tourmaline and quartz.
Beautiful.
So, okay, actually, this is a good, because this has to do with all divination tools. It's important to know, I feel like, that it's not necessarily about like a pendulum. If you don't know what a pendulum is, it's like a crystal or something heavy on the end of a chain, and it swings and it says like yes or no.
It's a rock on a string.
Yes.
You can make your own out of anything, by the way.
I think people get like freaked out by divination tools because they think like, oh, like a bad spirit is going to come and move my pendulum, or come flip certain cards out or whatever. What's actually happening with divination tools is not all that woo-woo. It's actually you speaking to your subconscious mind. If you want to call on a spirit, if you want to say, hey, spirit guides, hey, hey, mom, whatever. I've done that before to try and get answers. But what's actually happening is you're allowing your subconscious a channel to connect with you. So when you pull a card, for instance, no matter what the card is, your brain is going to find a way to connect with that.
Ooh, which is magical.
Yeah. And when I'm reading tarot for someone else, my intuitive sense is pulling information around their energetic field. That is a little more woo-woo because we can tap in, but it's still like the way we intuitively interpret it's using our brains. It is connected to spirit, but you don't have to be like a full-blown psychic to use these things, I guess.
Right.
It's more about tuning into your inner knowing. And what I think is fun about pendulums is that I've tried so many times to notice it, but what's actually happening that makes it turn different directions is like microspasms in your fingertips that are connected to your subconscious.
Whoa.
So you are moving it yourself. It's not a spirit doing it. Yeah, it's an uncontrollable, it's so small. It's not like you cheating and getting the answer you want by moving your hand. It's holding your hand perfectly still, but it's these like microspasms, like literally in your fingers that are making it move. So you're literally tapping into your subconscious, asking it, what do you want? Or, what's this, what's that? So,
oh my God, you guys, go in your yard, find a rock, go in your drawer, find a string. Tie the rock to the string. We're going to do this together.
Yes.
Should we start with how we use it?
Yes. So if you're not watching, you might want to come back and watch this. Might be easier. But so you hold the
string
end
or
of
chain.
the chain that is not connected to the rock. Excuse me, with your fingertips. And then I like to hold it against my body to kind of like stabilize my arm. I don't know if you do that. So that you don't accidentally like go like this, like move your arm around.
Okay.
So I'll hold my elbow against my side to try and stabilize it more. And then I put my other hand below it to connect to my energy. Is anything about that different than what you do?
I don't own a pendulum. I only used them when we worked at the store.
Oh, yeah.
And they were amazing, and I should
really
buy
cool.
one.
So the first thing you want to do, so pendulums are yes and no's and maybes, I guess. They're not going to spell out letters or something for you. Although you can get cloths that it could go towards letters, I think. But I don't have that. I just ask it yes and no because you're going to ask it first, what is my yes? And for me, it swings straight back and forth when I ask, what is my yes?
Mine's making a circle to the left.
So yours is making a counterclockwise.
Oh my God, I'm feeling the spasm in my finger. That's crazy.
And then you're going to say, show me my no.
Show me my no.
And for me, my no goes clockwise in a circle.
And mine's going in a straight line.
Oh, that's so funny. Ours are opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So then you can ask it some questions that you know the answer to. Like I could say, is the sky purple?
Is the sky purple? No.
Is my name Sadie?
Is my name Sadie? No. You get a
Mine
yes?
says yes. And then from there, so I'm connected to my pendulum so very quickly it's working, but it took me a while to do this. So just keep practicing like that until you get it. It's so cool because then it stops and it just kind of shakes in place. But then you can start asking it questions. Like if you're in between, I don't know, some sort of decision, you can say, should I do this? Should I do this? But pendulums are really amazing for checking in with your subconscious and kind of nudging you in the right direction.
Oh, I like what mine was telling me. That was nice. It's going to be a good year.
Am I a bajillionaire? Yes! I'm just swinging that time. Although sometimes it does get really intense. So I've had it like swing like this before. I'm doing it right now, but I've had that happen.
I'm not. No, I'm kidding. This is just
swinging
happening on its
over.
own.
Or like a big no. But yeah, do you guys have pendulums? How have they helped you?
It's so cool because it's like what Sadie just said. It helps you know what you already know. Mm-hmm. It's not that like, somebody floats down and like moves it for you.
Yeah.
Like you're finding out how. So we had, a whole episode like how to tap into your intuition, or was that how to be psychic? Was it the same one?
That was the same one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is another great way to unveil that in yourself.
Yeah. If you're working on your intuition, this is a great way to check it and say, I don't know if I'm feeling it, but it's a physical, visual thing you can check in with yourself. And then, so one last little tool that I've actually, haven't learned much yet, but Raven's Eye Crystal gifted me a runes set. That is so cool. Thank you. So this is Tiger's Eye. Some ASMR.
Ooh. You are full of joy and abundance.
ASMR actually makes me anxious. I don't get why it's calming to people.
It does not calm me down at all.
It makes me go, but runes are really cool, and I'm just starting to learn about them, and I haven't really played with them too much yet, but basically it's like it's an alphabet, a rune alphabet. And so it's again, it's just symbolism, learning the symbols. You'll throw it, you'll pick out the ones that turn face up, I guess. Again, I don't know. I haven't played with it yet. And then you can kind of sort out like the meaning to your message, which again, it's like your subconscious picking out the meaning with the symbolism, like what you need to hear right now. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can see. They're gonna fall, but it's like a little stone deck with
Can I
symbolism.
pick one without looking, and we can look up what it means?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
This one looks like a little jughead crown from Riverdale.
What do you feel like it means? Look at this cute bag too she got me.
Raven's Eye. Let me feel it for a second and see. I'm feeling like it's either personal power or like overcoming.
Let's see.
That's my feeling for this one.
Okay.
Also, seeing these beautiful like runes painted on different crystals makes me feel like you can kind of create your own divination tools. You can create your own runes with like rocks or crystals. You could even you can create your own oracle deck, just like cut up pieces of paper and put like different positive messages on each one. Or
I was just thinking like you could put a bunch of different kinds of crystals in a bag and like pick a crystal out, and the meaning of that crystal is like what you need today, and you carry that crystal with you or something. Like you could put a bunch in a bag like this and like pick one for the day.
I love that. There's so many fun ways you can get creative with divination tools. Like I said, you can make your own pendulums. I think Sadie and I both want to create our own decks, or like a joint goddess hangs deck someday. I think that would be so fun.
I definitely want to do that. Let me see the symbol again. I just found a thing. Okay. It's like an M or something.
With a line underneath. Let's learn together about the runes.
The other thing I think, like, so we talked about, okay, like a lot of divination tools are simply tuning into your subconscious. However, yes, like you can connect to spirit with them. You can connect to your spirit guides. So it's also important to note that just like when you're sitting down for a reading, it is important to like say a little like prayer of protection, or like, I think we've talked about it before, but I feel like we should revisit a few ways you can like energetically protect yourself when you're like sitting down to like do a reading or play with your woo-woo things. So what's your number one way you protect yourself?
So I will just say, like if I'm about to sit down and do a reading, I'll say, God, angels, universe, energies of the highest good, thank you so much for allowing me to be a clear channel. Thank you for connecting me with so-and-so. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for only good things, love and light coming in. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll just say something like that.
Yeah, I do the same. I call on Archangel Michael.
Oh, What a guy.
I say, please, he's the protecting archangel if you're into angels. If you're into angels. So I say, please be my gatekeeper and only allow energies that have my highest good in mind. I'm open to communicate, but only with energies that have positive intentions.
I love it.
That's the simplest way. And I don't give a lot of thought to lower vibration entities. So I just don't think that they have any sort of permission to like come in my space. It's not something I think about all the time. Don't worry if you like, I don't want to like, you're like, I think about it all the time. Does that mean they're gonna get me or something? No. But understand that like you have to give permission, and all it takes is for you to say like, in my energetic field, in my room, in my home, I only allow energies of the highest good. That sets a really great boundary. Other ways you can do it is with crystals. Like, I think I don't have one on today. Oh, the golden hematite is protective, isn't it?
Yeah.
But any black crystals are very protective. So you could wear a bracelet or a necklace. Amethyst is really protective. So you could have crystals like around your space or on you. Black salt is very protective. So that's crushed up eggshells with salt and ash. So you could have, I have like just little jars of it that I don't have any here. I always gift them out, but you can like put that on your desk where you read tarot, or you can put it just by the entryway to your doors, stuff like that. But it's so simple to just ask for protection and put it out there. And it's not something you need to like think about all the time and worry about. Like, it's okay.
I just never bought into the idea that I was going to become possessed or someone was going to attach to me. I just never, I was like, no, I'm not available for that.
I'm not available for that.
I'm not available for that. And it's never once even remotely been a tiny bit of an issue in like the 15 years that I've done all this stuff. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Your symbol, I believe, is the horse.
No way!
Because it doesn't have the bottom part on it, but it's the only one that looks like that.
Okay.
Excuse me, I keep burping because I'm drinking bubbly water. Sorry if you
She's
can hear
really
it.
saying it's a good thing.
This represents man's trusty aid, our only form of transport in times past. It indicates moving forward and change for the better with gradual but steady progress. It can also show teamwork, trust, and loyalty. Reversed. It can. We didn't do reversed or upside down.
I mean, I saw
just like tarot cards.
it like this.
Yeah, but if it were upside down, it can be show restlessness, craving of change, disharmony, and this is cool. It connects it with tarot. It can be seen as the Lover's tarot card. Progress, movement, harmony, trust. It's like,
dropped it in the
and
couch.
It's gone.
Oh, I picked the horse.
It's
I'm
a
going to meet a
sign.
horse tomorrow.
It's a sign.
All right, let me give this back to you before I lose it
Before you
again.
lose it. That's cool. Wait, now I should have picked
You want to do it?
I'll do it after. We don't need to
Okay.
let them wait around.
I picked
I'll learn the runes better and we'll bring them to an IG live sometime. That'd be fun.
That would be so fun.
Or maybe I can find a good guide that's easy to look up and we can do it. That'd be an easy way to learn, is just to do it for other people.
Totally.
That one was a little hard to
horse.
navigate, but that'd be fun.
Oh my god, that made me. I would never have guessed when you said, "What does it mean to be like
Horse,
a horse?"
of course.
Oh, a horse is a horse, of course,
Of course.
Do you know what I'm singing?
Yes, but I can't remember. What's the rest of it?
As a famous Mr. Ed, go right to the source and ask the horse. He'll give you the answer that you endorse. He's always on a steady course. Talk to Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed.
He was the talking horse.
Yeah.
Hi, Wilbur. It's the best show. It's out in like the...
Hi, Wilbur.
Oh my god, I don't know how they made that horse talk, but they did.
Oh, I wanted to ask you, because I haven't used one before, but there's a lot of fear around Ouija boards. But in all reality, it's just another divination tool that movies in Hollywood have decided to put a lot of fear around. But you've used a Ouija board before, so what was your experience like?
So I had a glow-in-the-dark one
Very
from
cool.
Hasbro when I was
I was just at a store that was selling them, and Hasbro still makes them. It was the Hasbro thing on it. I thought that was so funny.
That might be a fun video one day, like Sadie and Juliet do the Ouija board.
Yeah.
And like, see, I mean, not that we need it because we can just ask anyway.
I know, like, spirits like refuse to move it, and they just talk to us directly. They're like, no.
But I had it as a teenager, and I was obsessed. That was like my fun, like, come over, we'll do the Ouija board, or we'll set up a tent in the yard, do Ouija board. And one thing that happened that was really cool was I think my uncle came through once, and I said, like, what am I going to do with my life, or what should I do? And it was spelling it out, and I didn't understand what it was spelling until it was done, and it said sing, and I was like, ooh, that's cool. But and then my friend Amy remembers we did it with another night with somebody else, and the person came through. Nothing crazy ever happened. I just didn't believe that was a possibility for me. I wasn't
That's what I would
that.
say your prayer, do a small like protective intention. But again, it's like it's just another divination tool.
And it was, I think at the time it was like kind of fun to be a little scared. And,
yeah.
I did see like a wooden Ouija board at a Goodwill, or like a Salvation Army Goodwill a few weeks ago, and I was like, no.
I was like, do not buy a Ouija board secondhand. You do not know if something's attached to it.
Wrong.
I'm only buying a brand new one, but I am down.
And then I had one, and then my sister gave it away. I think she like left it out. She tried to get rid of it a couple times, because when we lived in the same house, I would like see it on the lawn, and I was like, don't do that. And I would like, eventually she got rid of it. She's like, I don't want that in the house. So I don't use it. I haven't used it in years and years and years. Nothing crazy happened. Maybe we'll have fun with one sometime.
Yeah. Let us know if you have used a Ouija board before, and if you have any stories about it. I'm super curious to hear. DM us or comment, or like any of these things we've talked about, or anything that we don't personally use. We know there's like literally endless possibilities of ways you could.
My grandma used to do? She used to read tea leaves.
Oh, I was just thinking about how you can read coffee too, because
maybe that's what she did.
People read tea leaves. That's in Harry Potter, and that's
maybe it was coffee. She read something in a cup that you drank. You would drink it, and then she would get hired to go to parties, and it was sort of like just kind of for fun. But and she'd like flip to the page in the book, and this is what this means.
That's cool. Yeah, I know you can do tea leaves. You can do coffee. Lo, the coffee cup witch, started. I haven't gotten one from her, but her handle is the coffee cup witch. But she's been kind of posting about like how you do it and stuff, and you pour the milk from up high and then watch how it like forms shapes and stuff. Ooh. And she like reads that. So that's a cool different way. And then tea leaves is one, and I don't know, there's endless freaking ways. It's cool. So I'm curious to hear if these are just ways that we've used, and what's a different way, or what's an experience you've had that's been cool with the ways we've said.
Yeah. What's a tool that you want to see us do? Do you want to see us have a crazy Ouija board party? Do you want, I don't know, someone's going to come for us and be like, you can't joke around with those things, but we're fine. It's fine.
We have experience. I feel like we
I should have
know
said
how to
that.
Set our boundaries.
Yes. I don't mean to be so
very
cavalier about it.
Well, we do. You talk to spirits like every freaking day.
Also, I'm having a new fun reoccurring dream, opposed to the awful reoccurring dream that I usually have.
Fun?
This one's fun.
Good.
I've now had 2 dreams where I'm digging in the sand, and I keep pulling out the most exquisite crystals, like crystals and rocks. Like I'm digging and digging, and other people are just walking right by, and I'm like, how are they not seeing this? And I'm just discovering all this treasure.
Cool.
That was last night's dream. I wanted to tell you that.
I was going to tell you today when I was on my beach walk that I saw a guy with a metal detector, and I thought about when we still worked at the crystal shop and we were talking about how we wanted to get metal detectors and go to the beach. Why have I not gotten a metal detector
You live right here.
I'm like, I don't care if I look silly. Everyone makes fun of those guys. I'm like, it looks really fun. It's not even about finding something of high value. Like, it's just fun.
Although I've always wanted to discover treasure. Oh my God. Can I tell you one more thing before we go?
Yeah.
You're going to think this is the silliest thing you've ever heard.
Okay.
I learned something recently that I guess everybody else on planet Earth knew.
Oh.
I learned that pirates really happened.
Oh, you didn't know pirates were real?
Nope.
Oh my god, you thought they were pretend?
You know, I thought Victor could not believe this. He's like, there's the whole Disneyland ride. I'm like, yeah, but there's also rides about like talking elephants. Like, I thought fairies.
You just thought it was
fairies, gremlins, pirates. And you know, he was like, yeah, Blackbeard. I'm like, okay, Blackbeard. He's like, no, he was a real I'm like, okay. He's like, no, he was a real person. I think I had some understanding that like, oh yeah, there was a time when people might steal things from boats.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize it was like 100-year golden age of piracy.
Yeah.
How did I not? How did I go this many
you know,
years?
the Vikings and their thing. That's all real.
The Viking? No, I'm kidding. I knew they were Vikings.
I was like, I mean, they're still pirates, right?
You're asking the wrong person.
They're still pirates because there's like more recent movies. You know that one where he's like, I'm the captain now. That's a pirate. Can't remember the movie. Never saw it. I just know that scene. That's a clip that's everywhere.
I just thought it was a freaking Halloween costume. Like, oh, an eye patch and a parrot. Ho, ho, ho. Like, hardy heart. Like, I just didn't realize it was like based on historical events.
That's okay. We all have our things. I'm trying to think of something like that. Mine were all little things, but my dad is such a goofball, and I know this is going to happen to my kids too because I love goofing around, but he would tell me stuff playing around, but then never like come back later and be like, by the way, I was just joking. And then when I was like much too old to believe it, I would be like saying it out loud to a friend and they'd be like, what? And this actually came up the other day.
What?
So I have a cowlick in my hair.
Yes.
Which, is it really called a colic or do people really call it a cowlick?
I think it's a cowlick.
Okay, so it is called a cowlick. And my dad has the exact same one. It's where your hair is like kind of like pushed up in a certain spot, and that's normal. It's a genetic thing. But I remember asking, mine has been more pronounced lately, and I don't know why. I'm like, what the hell? My hair, like I'll wake up and it's like this. I'm like trying to put it down. But anyways, that's why it came up, because I was like, babe, look at my cowlick. It's crazy. And I was like, I got to tell you a story. When I was like a little girl, I was asking my dad about why is her hair like that? You know, I noticed we had the same thing going on. He was like, oh, it's a cowlick. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, well, when I was a little boy, I was in the barn and a cow licked me there. And you know, he's like, you know how thick their spit is? And I was like, yeah, I know, because I did know. I went to the barn every week with my dad. And he was like, yeah, well, if they lick you on your hair, it just stays that way. And I was like, so it happened to me too? And he was like, yeah. So I thought a cow licked me here. That's the idea behind it, is it looks like, you know, like if a cow licked you there.
I never put that together.
I guess. I don't know, but and then I never really like talked about it. I just internally, and you know, you like kind of just like take something at face value until you say it out loud, and then you hear yourself saying it.
25 years later.
So I remember I was like saying something to a friend about like, oh, like my cowlick, I wish that cow never licked me or something, because I was like trying to straighten my hair and it was just like not cooperating. That, I don't know, something silly. And they were like, and they like laughed and they're like, oh, good one. And I was like, what? And then I was like explaining what my dad told me, and then as I was saying it, I was like, oh yeah, for sure, that was it.
Oh my god, a cowlick. I have these moments where, this is gonna make me sound very stupid. I'm a very smart girl, but I do have these moments where I will say words and then it'll be like a light bulb finally goes off. Like a couple years ago, I was like, sunblock. Block. And up until I think 5 years ago, I thought they were called windshield wipers. Like Winchell's Donuts. I thought it was like, oh, I need to change out the windshield wipers. And then finally I was like, windshield wiper. Yeah, I thought it was a windshield wiper.
I could go for a donut. Oh my god, that's so funny.
So you know, like I said, you guys, I'm a late bloomer. I eventually get there. I learned that pirates really happened. I learned how to say words like windshield.
That's so exciting for you to just learn about pirates.
I've
You have so much
since
history
watched
to
every
uncover.
video. I know, I'm so excited. I tried watching the Netflix thing for like 5 minutes, the new pirate show, and it was just too intense for me. And Victor's like, yeah, it's a show about pirates. Like,
Pirates are gnarly.
I said, I wanted it to be like a historical, boring thing with like a Ken Burns slideshow, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, I feel like I've shared a lot about myself today. You guys know about my inoculation status. You know about the words and the things I didn't know. And you learned about some things that we do know. I'm just waiting for the comment that's like, learn divination tools from a girl who thought pirates weren't real. That's what this episode's going to be called. Pirates are real?
Pirates are real? What? And then you turn it on, you're like, this has nothing to do with pirates. Just wait till the end. It sure does.
Spin a rock.
Are pirates real? Ask the pendulum.
Yes.
That's how you found out. They are real.
Oh my gosh.
That's the question you answer.
No, I just want to tell everybody I know I want to be, because everybody gets such a kick out of it. I'm like, did you know that I didn't know that?
Did you know that I didn't know?
Did you know that I was today years old when I learned this thing that every 4-year-old boy on the planet just
oh my God, that's so
already
funny.
knows?
I'm going to ask you about so many things. Did you know this was real? Did you know this was real? Did you know what this
That'll
was
be for our
an entire episode.
Patreon exclusive content.
Things we didn't know.
Do you guys want us to start a Patreon? Do you want to spend more time with us?
Yeah, let us know.
Let us know. They're like, I'm good.
Like, 1 a week is enough. No, but we were thinking about what value we could bring to you guys. Like, what would you want? In what way? So we have thought about starting a Patreon. So if you're interested in something like that, let us know. 1, if you're interested, and say, yeah, I am. 2, what do you want to see? Do you want it to be a bonus episode? Do you want it to be, I don't know, something else? I can't think of other ideas right now. But maybe you're thinking of something. You're like, I sure wish they did that. Or I don't know, maybe we would do Patreon exclusive group readings, you know, off of IG Live. So you got a little bit more time with us. Like, maybe we could do that once a month. And limit like how many people could be a part of that, or I don't know, like, let us know. My cat's meowing at the door, we gotta go. Okay, bye. No, just kidding.
And we'll give the tiers. First one will be the Shiver Me Timbers.
We're gonna have a pirate themed Patreon. A little off brand, but we stand by it. Pirate hangs. Next week we just have an eye patch and you've got like one of those fake hooks.
Well, you know, in Peter Pan it was like, you know, this guy can fly and there's children in the woods, and I was like, how was I supposed to differentiate that? But the pirates were historically significant.
It's not that crazy. I've just read a lot of stuff, and I don't know, I like stuff, like learning stuff like that specifically. But if that's not your specific interest, then I get it. I can totally understand how you could get this far in life. It's surprising, but I can totally understand. With those references, I'm like, yeah, why would you know pirates are real? That's actually, I wonder how many people, what if like everyone else is like, we didn't know they were real either. If you didn't know pirates were real, let us know. Or something that you recently learned that everybody knows, because that always cracks us up.
Yes, everybody has that. First of all, if you walk around this life pretending that you know everything, you're not going to have a lot of friends, because it's just, I don't know. I always went through school and life asking a zillion questions, or people say like, you know about this, right? And I'll say, no.
Tell me more.
Because I want to know. Nothing wrong with not knowing. We don't know until we know.
If I know a lot about it, I'll just say, I know a little, tell me more, because it's fun to hear, even if like, and that's why I love talking about books with other people, because they read it with a completely different brain, like to different references. Like you read something and it means something completely different to someone else. It's fun. That's why I like books.
Oh my gosh.
Well, with that, let's wrap this up. Let us know, do you want a Patreon, and what would you like to see on it, and do you want to hang out with us more?
Do you want to be our friend even more?
And don't forget to subscribe. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who has. It means so much to us, and it's really, really helpful to get new listeners. thank you to all the new people. We've been growing the past like couple weeks.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. And like this video if you're watching on YouTube. Leave a comment, talk to us, DM us. We love to hear from you. Follow us on Instagram at Goddess Hangs. I am Sadie Olson.
I am at Juliet.Piper.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.